Hey all, so this is all the gear, and I'll do a quick walkthrough to give you all an idea of what I'm carrying. My CDT through hike. We'll start up here. This is my snow gear. I will not start with this. I probably won't finish with it, but we did get a lot of snow this year on the CDT, and got an ice axe, micro spikes, and trekking pole snow baskets. I find this to be pretty much all I need for mountaineering on trail. These are some Gordini Glide gloves. They've got a built-in liner, which helps with rain and wind and snow. Yeah, gloves are pretty essential trail gear for me at this point. Going with a Jetboil flash cooking system, upgrading from changing from an MSR pocket rocket because of the windscreen. It's gonna be more fuel efficient, which will help me in the longer stretches, like in Wyoming or Montana. I got a Sea to Summit titanium spoon to go along with it. An Ursax food bag. It's made of Kevlar, but that's really just for critters. So if a bear wants food, bear gets food. This is a Tiger Wall UL2 Big Agnes tent. Go with the UL2 two-person tent because it's not that much more heavy than a UL1, and I like having the space to put my stuff around me, especially if it's raining. And this is a freestanding tent, which is not the most lightweight option, but for me it's the most stable and comfortable, and comfort's something that I put pretty highly on my through hikes. This is a Big Agnes insulated axle air sleeping pad. It's pretty equivalent to the Neo Air X-Lite from Thermarest, but the mouthpiece on this is a bit easier to inflate and deflate, in my experience, and that helps especially at altitude. This breathing can get kind of labored. So my water filtration system, it's Sawyer Squeeze. It's not the mini, it's the big guy. I find it to be, I find the regular one to have much better flow, especially after a few uses on trail. I carry the self-cleaning plunger along, and also 2 or 3 bags. I also have a scoop that I've made out of a Sawyer bag. Trick I learned from a dude on the AT. Shout out. This is an Arc'teryx Cerium LT down hoodie. It's 900 fill, super lightweight. It does come back down more. Got it at REI clearance sale, like $100 off. Shout out to REI, it's pretty great company. And this is a Melanzana microgrid fleece hoodie, and this is a really great piece of gear, and together these two, there's a lot of warmth in these 2 layers, which is really great. Yeah, it's a pretty essential pieces of gear. This is a Marmo pre-clip rain jacket. It's actually, I got this, I've had this for all of my trails. I got it when I was a good bit heavier than I am right now, so this is actually quite large on me. But it actually it fits all of my layers underneath it. So it works quite well for that, actually. This is a Z-Rest Thermarest. It's just a butt seat. It's from a full set just cut off at 3 sections. If it's especially muddy or dirty, it's nice to have this to throw down and just have a nice seat. This is a black diamond spot headlamp, both red and white lights, both adjustable. It's up to 200 lumens, so it can get pretty bright. And they're like $40, so they're pretty replaceable. Just a pretty solid headlamp. Great piece of gear. I carry a fanny pack for I put my phone here, headphones, bug spray, sunscreen, chapstick, Gold Bond, pretty much like snacks for hiking, and it's also a good going into town pocket. So my hiking shorts don't have pockets, so it's good to have a pocket. Pockets are just useful. It's an Anchor power pack. It's a pretty big one. It charges an iPhone like 6 or 7 times, and I got this big one because I have the phone and also have a GoPro and a Kindle that I'm taking. I like having that security of having that extra power, especially on the longer stretches, which there will be. Got some Lecky cork light aluminum poles. I keep my duct tape wrapped around trekking poles, which is pretty easy. I go with cork because I sweat a lot, and cork handles sweat better than foam or rubber in my experience. This is an MSR dromedary bag. It's 6 liters. So I do sweat a lot, so I like the ability to have a really large water carrying capacity. And 6 liters is quite a lot of water. So especially with dry camping, if I'm not camping near a water source, this thing is really great to have, to get some water and carry it to wherever I'm camping. This is a Enlightened Equipment Enigma 0 degree quilt, stuffed into this Sea to Summit compression sack, so it compresses down quite well, and it's super warm. I've never had a cold night in this guy, so it's a pretty great piece of gear. And this is also one of my favorite pieces of gear. This is a Patagonia Houdini wind shirt. It's super lightweight, and it packs down. This is its own chest pocket, so it just comes into its own chest pocket and packs down to this little packable little bag. And it's also really easy to slip off while I have my pack on, so I don't have to stop and take my pack off. When I get too hot for this layer, I can just slip it off while still hiking. So I really enjoy that one. These are just 2 paracords, just always useful to have. This is just a notebook that I've had since I was a child, and I've never used it, so don't want to get a new one while I have a bunch of old ones. I wear contacts, so solution in glasses, travel brush, travel toothpaste, GoPro, extra battery. This is kind of my my fix-it stuff, so sort of like a body fix and a gear fix. I just have athletic tape, Neosporin equivalent, and an ace bandage, and this is just some gear material replacement, and this is a tent pole splint. I've heard that the Tiger Wall poles can break under pretty extreme circumstances, and it's not something that I'm too worried about, because I know how to set up tarps and tents pretty well, but just having the extra measure of security. Something that I always prefer to do. So this is a hydration system, pretty simple platypus bag, a little hydration tube. These are a lot more efficient for me. I stay a lot more hydrated versus just having a smart water bottle and stopping to take drinks out of that. This is what I prefer to use while hydrating, while hiking. I'm carrying a Kindle because I really like to read, and the battery on these versions is Paperwhite. They last a surprisingly long time, so it's just it's a luxury item. I've got a buff and a bandana, both CDT variants, of course. This is a pair of wool thermal leggings. The brand is Russell. I got them at REI a really long time ago. But they're just pretty simple leggings, pretty lightweight. They dry quickly, they stay warm, and they're just a pretty nice base layer. These are Brooks running shorts. They're really lightweight, and they dry super quickly, which is really great in a hiking short. So these are my favorite hiking shorts that I've ever really had. This is a Columbia Silver Ridge hiking shirt. I really like the style of the button-down short sleeve. But for exposed trail, I find that I really like long sleeve, and so this is so it's Silver Ridge for me, and it's just a really great hiking shirt. This is an Ibex Woolrich merino wool nylon blend base layer. It's pretty form-fitting, so it keeps the heat on the body really well, and it works while wet, but dries really quick. Just a really great piece of gear. These are liner socks. This is something that I use in the desert, and it's really great preliminary thing for blisters that I found. It wicks moisture away from the bottom of the feet, so the bottom of the feet stay pretty dry, which is something I find where blisters come from. So liner socks for me work really well for preventing blisters. Especially these are really lightweight, super thin, and they would just work really well. And I've got two Darn Tough socks. Darn Tough's great. They've got a lifetime warranty, so when they get holes, or I guess when they get more holy, I can send a pair back, and they'll send me another pair. I usually do a hiking sock and a camp sock, and when the hiking sock gets too holy, I'll send it out. My camp sock will be my hiking sock, and then the next pair of Darn Toughs will be my camp socks, and I'll just run through them. I'll run through a few pairs. And this is my house. This is the home. This is where everything lives. It's the ULA Catalyst. I've had Ospreys for the other trails that I've been on, but I've decided to change to the Catalyst, just based on other hikers, just the specs. I'm thinking that this is going to be the best weight to stability to carrying capacity for me, personally on trip. I've got a little embroidery. It's a mantra of mine. Way opens. Yeah, so that's pretty much everything I've got. Yeah, I'll have food and water and stuff, but that's pretty much just all the gear. So hopefully that can be informative in some way, but it's also something I really enjoy about through hiking is that everyone's kit is completely different. No one you meet is going to have the same kit that you have. So this is just a kit that has worked for me, that I've dialed into, that I feel like I can confront the most varied situations. Because, yeah, that's the thing with the CDT is very, very varied and much more remote, so just needing to be more dialed in and more ready for more varied scenarios. And for me, this is what I've put together. So yeah, hopefully that can be informative. Yeah, and happy trails. All right, peace.